It's time for more Dirty Story Night. We're continuing our Endangered Species Month, in which contestants only had 30 minutes to write their story after the theme was drawn. Next up is Marty McFart with her story. Again, I think this might be another pseudonym, but I'm not quite sure. Before we begin, I want to tell you about It's All Been Done Presents, our parent network, which you can find at IABDpresents.com. We've got podcast, written work, video series, and more, including the Quarterly Book Club. Quarterly Book Club. Why quarterly? Because you're busy and books are long. 4 times a year, we read a book over a course of 3 months, and then Samantha Stark and a couple of guests sit down and do a video for our YouTube channel where they discuss that book. This quarter's book is The Badass Librarians of Timbuktu and the Race to Save the World's Most Precious Manuscripts by Joshua Hammer. We're doing historical nonfiction this year, so this is a true story and a New York Times bestseller about some really badass librarians in Timbuktu. It's really good, and you can join in the discussion on social media. You can also support us by going to patreon.com/IABD, which we'd really appreciate because it takes a lot to keep this programming on the air. And if you want to participate in a future Dirty Story Night, please shoot us an email at dirtystorynight@iabdpresents.com. Now enjoy Marty McFart's Dirty Story.
Hi everybody, I'm Marty McFart. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to read my handwriting because I am drunk. And I was drunk when I wrote it. Yeah! George's heart was beating like a heart that was beating really fast. He had just been on a wonderful date with Anne from the marketing department. Technically, they weren't supposed to date inside the company, but she had a really tight little ass, and he was a manager, so he got away with all kinds of shit he shouldn't. Do you want to come up for a drink, or? Anne asked, in a way that made it clear that more than just a nightcap was in the offering. George looked at his watch as though the time of evening might be an actual factor in his decision to stay or go home. I suppose I could stay out a little bit longer, he said. The kids are at their mom's for the weekend. They climbed the stairs to Anne's third-floor apartment, Anne's tight little round butt cheeks dangling tantalizingly in front of him the whole way. He had been fantasizing about this day since she had interned for them her junior year. But now that his divorce was pending and he made manager money, it was on the table. His balls leapt in anticipation. Anne opened her door. The apartment smelled like 27-year-old woman apartment, not like his newly bachelor-ish again apartment anyway. It really got his juices flowing, but not enough. His erectile dysfunction was acting up again. Seriously? Now? Thought George loudly in an internal monologue directed at his own anatomy. But George had a secret weapon. After making out with Anne on her microfiber couch for a solid 20 minutes, just as she was about to slip her hands into his Dockers, George excused himself and slipped off to the bathroom. He pulled a little packet of white powder out of his pocket. He deposited it in a line on the countertop and snorted it. The line of white rhino horn. Just enough to make this an endangered species story. He walked out of the bathroom with a raging boner and pounded the shit out of Anne's tight little cunt.
It's All Been Done Presents.
Who's got the time?